So let's look at these questions. We'll work through them fairly quickly. I'll do the count back, count forward, and then I'll do the stacking with borrowing or carrying, depending on what we need. Kind of alternate between those two different strategies. So first question is 4.32 plus 2.64. If I'm doing count forward, I can start with the ones place, so that's gonna be 6, 0.9, and 0.06. Put those together, I have 6.96. B, I'm going to stack them, but I'm going to see if I need to do any carrying. It doesn't look like I will, but I'll start over here at the hundredths place. 1 and 7 is 8, 8 and 1 is 9, 3 and 4 is 7. So 7.98. C, I'm going to do count forward, count back again. So 5.52 plus 3.28. So my 5 and 3 is 8. 5 tenths plus 2 tenths is 0.7. And then 2 hundredths plus 8 hundredths is 10 hundredths, which is really 1/10. So I have 8.80. And I can put 8.80. The 0 is kind of redundant. We talked about that before. 4.57 plus 5.39. I'm going to use carrying. There's definitely going to be some carrying to do. My answer is going to be about 9.8, 9.9, something like that. So 7 plus 9 is 18. No, sorry, it's 16. Can I carry the 1? 1 and 5 is 6. 6 and 3 is 9. And 4 plus 5 is 9. So my answer is 9.96. Last one, I'm going to do count forward on this one here. So 5/86 and 3 and 57 hundredths. I know 5 and 3 is 8. I know 8 tenths and 5 tenths is 13 tenths. That would be 1.30. And 6 hundredths plus 7 hundredths, that would be 13 hundredths, or 1/10 and 3 hundredths. So if I look at what I have here, I have 8 and 1 is 9. 3 and 1 is 4. 3 tenths and 1/10 is 4 tenths. And 3 hundredths. 9.43, or 9 and 43 hundredths. For subtracting, I'm going to do 7.68 minus 5.34. I don't think there's any borrowing to do, so it really doesn't matter where I start. I'm going to do, starting at the hundredths place, 8 minus 4 is 4, 6 minus 3 is 3, and 7 minus 5 is 2, so my answer is 2.34. 6.82 minus 3.41. Once again, I look at this one, it's a simple stacker. There's not going to be any borrowing. So, I mean, I could start over here counting back. 6 minus 3 is 3. 8 minus 4 is 4. 2 minus 1 is 1. We have 3.41. Look at that. It's actually exactly half of 6.82. Let's do the borrowing again, because I think, I don't think there's going to be any borrowing on this one too. I think I've got 3 simple stacking ones for you here. But if we start over in the hundredths place, by the way, I know my answer is going to be about 4.4, something like that. Actually, I think that's going to be exactly what it is. 5 minus 5 is 0. 6 minus 2 is 4. If I drop my decimal in, 9 minus 5 is 4. Yeah, it's 4.4. And I can put 4.40, or I could drop that 0. That one isn't necessary. I'm going to do count back on this one here, and it's a bit complicated. So I'll show you kind of how it works. So I know 6 minus 4 is 2, so I'm going to put my 2 there. I know 7 minus 4 in the tenths place is 0.30. Now what this does is it counts back to 1.7. Or sorry, no, that's not right. Since these are together, I'm going to have 2.3 left over. Sorry, guys. Now, 3 minus 8, well, if I go down 3, I'd have to do another 5 hundredths down. So this is 2.3, and I'm subtracting 0.05. So that's going to leave me with 2.25. I'm going to say that count back strategy I find a bit tricky when you start having to do some regrouping. Last one, 8.36 minus 6.87. I'm going to use borrowing for this one here. By the way, I know my answer is going to be, 1.4 or 5, something along that lines. So 6 minus 7 I can't do with this strategy without borrowing. So I'm going to make the tenths a 2, and I'm going to carry that 1/10 over to the hundredths place. Now I have 16 hundredths. 16 minus 7 is 9. Now 2/10 minus 8/10 I can't do in this strategy without borrowing. So the 1's going to become a 7, and now I'm going to have 12/10. It's 1.2. 12 minus 8 is 4. I'm going to drop my decimal. 7 minus 6 is 1. So my answer is 1.49. All right, guys, check your answers. Hopefully I got everything right, and you can work off of it. Have a great day, guys.